finishing's been a big kind of your guys' rallying cry this season. What was said during that delay? Because it looked like you guys came out and you just put the hammer down on them on both sides.
That's exactly what we wanted to do. You want to finish a game that way. You want to finish the game with a win, but we wanted to come out and not make it a question. So that we did that. Defense came up huge. When they needed to most. So my hat's off to them because it's a complicated offense what they're running, and our defense stepped up when they needed to most, like I said. So for us, just talking in that rain delay, honestly, it was a lot of dancing, a lot of listening to music, kind of just excited to get back out there, feeling the moment. We talked a lot last week about feeling the moment of like that last drive. So we're in the locker room here. We're about to go potentially win a game. We were feeling the most of that moment. We were having fun. We were excited to get out there, and we executed and won. So
I know Coach was really stressed that 4-minute. You guys haven't had a chance to run that 4-minute offense much when you've been in front. Is that just something where it's just Steve, Max, guys up front, just take care of business, and they were able to do it?
Well, yeah, guys up front for sure. We had a certain play that we kept running that I told Coach Elliott, our offensive coordinator, I said, let's come back to that. And we did on 2 plays and probably busted for like 50 yards a pop. So, Coach Elliott called a great game. It's hard to call a 4-minute offense, really. But you got to stay in that flow. And so we did. And, like we said, we popped a couple big ones. And our O-line blocked tremendously. So Steve and Max, made it easier for them. And, you don't want to give those guys space or run at them. So for them to hit those holes, when I was back there watching them, I knew they scored and I knew it was over.
You guys haven't had to run that game yet this season. What's that mean to go out there and not only to execute it, but to get 7 points on both drives there in that 4-minute offense?
It's big. Look at last week. We ran a 2-minute offense to win the game. Fast forward a week later, we got to run a 4-minute to win the game. So both are things that we practice a lot. Obviously, it's important to practice both those situations for exactly moments like this. So, we're comfortable when it gets to that. When it gets to a 4-minute, we're comfortable. So you can just check that off our list that, practice something, we accomplished it, and came out with a win.
I know you guys don't want to relive the way last season, but it's kind of a mirror image, 5-1, North Dakota State coming up next. What's kind of the rallying cry this week going into that one?
We're just excited to play. I think we're gonna be ready to play. Going on the road, playing in a tough environment, but I'm excited. It's 2017 now, and this is a different team. And I talked on the radio show the other week how different this 4-1 feels from last 4-1, and it's a world different. It's the confidence that we have with this team, the chemistry and the nucleus that we got in that locker room. It's stronger than ever. So I wish we could play tomorrow in Fargo, but we're gonna have to wait another week.
You guys got down 2 scores again early in the second quarter. Anything need to be said? Anything need to just kind of fire you guys, or is that just kind of the wake-up call to get everything going again?
A wake-up call, I guess. Yeah. Just the flow of the game. We've been in that position a couple times now, and there's never a need for panic when that happens because, we're comfortable in every situation. I feel like we've been in almost every situation you can be in football. So we're a veteran group. We rely on our experience a lot. So never room to hit the panic button. We don't have that on our team at all, which is good. So we just had to execute. We played one play at a time and came back and took the lead and ended up winning. So.
Long delay. What kind of happens in that during that time?
We were locked in the whole time. We were trying to be relaxed. And when our name was called or time came up, we were ready to play. We were locked in. Everyone was locked in. Coach came in and he believed in us, and the whole defense and the whole team just believed that we were going to make a stop, and we got the job done.
2 quick 3-and-outs. Was there anything that you guys talked about scheme-wise during that time period, or was it just let's just be ready to go? Because they couldn't really move the ball forward in those 2 drives.
We just had 100% effort. Everyone was doing their job, making plays, and when our defense is doing that, I don't think anyone can get yards on us.
This defense seems to thrive when its back is up against the wall, and you guys have to have a stop. Is that something you kind of pride yourself in, or is that something that you really don't want to have to do that, but yet you guys seem to be able to do that?
Yeah, we don't want to be in that. We don't want to be in that situation. But when our name's called, we're ready to answer, and we bend, don't break, just like bamboo, and we're going to finish the job.
What does Eric Carrera meant to this defense the last week? Because he seems like the guy these last 2 or 3 weeks. that's really kind of stepped in that secondary and really played well for you guys?
Oh, we've known Eric's a great player ever since spring when he balled out, and then he just balled out in fall camp too. And he brings it every single day. Has great energy, and when he's in, we know exciting things are going to happen. He'll always be around the ball making plays.
What kind of goes into that when you guys get down 2 scores second quarter? It seemed like you guys really that was kind of the spark actually was falling behind for both the offense and the defense.
We have great belief in our team, and we know the offense is going to get the job done at the end of the day, and they believe we're going to get the job done today. So just never giving up and always believing in each other.
Going to have to make things happen offensively for you guys because almost 300 yards rushing today.
Yeah, I mean, all week, we was talking about, it's supposed to rain on Saturday, so we we about to run the ball. And, Missouri State, they averaging 200 yards a game on them, so, we knew it was about to go down.
How excited do you guys get that? Because you haven't had to run that 4-minute offense yet this season to ice a game, put a game away, and yet you guys not only did it, you got 2 scores out of it.
I mean, I never doubt my team, and so big situations like that, we know we got to finish, so I wouldn't doubt them, and we went and did it.
Did you? Sean mentioned there was a play that he felt really comfortable with. You guys have ran quite a bit, and I think he said those were the 2 plays that you and Max scored on. Was that something you guys were feeling like, we go right there? They don't have an answer for us going that way?
And I was in the huddle keep going, do the same thing, do the same thing, let's go, it's open. I mean, yeah.
What happens, because it seems like when you guys are backs against the wall, it seems like a switch just kind of really flips for you guys. You got down 2 scores, came right back. You had to take the air out of the ball and put the game away. You got 2 scores right there at the end. What is it about this team where it seems like in the high pressure situations you guys seem to play your best?
Honestly, to me, I really think we just like pressure, and we like getting in those situations, and we can come through, and that's part of the game.
Do you feel like this might have kind of been a breakout game for you this year because you haven't really had that big 100-yard game yet, and there you go, you were able to get it over with, get it kind of get it into your system?
I mean, I don't think it's a breakout game yet. I'm still coming. So, yeah.
You good? Awesome. Thank you. Well, there's a few of us left, isn't there? Huh? Real quickly would say, a great finish to the fight by our team. Certainly want to give a lot of credit to Missouri State, Coach Steck, who's a close friend of mine. They came in, they were well prepared, they played hard. They did a really good job on both sides of the ball. Certainly was a fight to the end. I want to credit our team for that finish. It felt like an overtime game in many ways. I credit our staff in the way we responded to the adversity is one of our keys to victory, is how we would adapt and respond, feeling like it could be like this with the weather. And we did a great job in those 45 minutes or so, whatever that break was, and kind of uniquely went about how we got ready for that game for the last 5 minutes and 55 seconds.
Sean made it sound like it was really loose in the locker room during the break. Brett made it sound like it was kind of intense. Was that just the difference between the offense or defense, or is it just kind of that's just how this team is? It seems like when they're locked in, it seems like they are such a loose group of guys.
I think it was a little bit of both. I think when we first came in the locker room, I think we were probably in a little bit of shock, to be honest with you, because I think our team felt like we were behind. And the first thing I told them, I want to remind you who's ahead. It's 35-30, and there's 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go. And it's really our season, a big chunk of our season's on the line right here. All right, so, don't feel sorry for yourself. We're ahead, but we were coming off where they had the momentum going. And they had to drive, and we had them on 4th down, and we had him penned up, and the kid, their quarterback, Hulsig, makes a great play to get it for the first down, and they score. We almost kind of think when we first came in, we were in a little bit of shock, and I think once that kind of wore off, and there's no question that Missouri State had the momentum when the break hit. And I think what we did a great job of as a staff and as a team was regrouping and just getting our legs back up under us, figuring out what we need to do. We had a walkthrough in the weight room. We had a walkthrough in the locker room. We went out. We ran our plays. We ran their plays. We run them all week. So we just were kind of like at practice. And I wanted to make sure that we were ready to play when the bell rang. And sure and behold, we were. I mean, that was about as good a 5 minutes and 55 seconds as you could get.
What is it about this team that Defensively, when you need a stop, you get it. Offensively, when you need to score, you get it. What is it about this team that it just seems to, when it really needs it, it makes that play?
Yeah, those are, there's a lot of adjectives. I would say, one's resilience. I mean, you gotta have a tough hide, because this is a tough game, and you're going to get stressed and tested all the time by good teams in this league, and you got to be able to respond. The last thing I said to them in the huddle, before we broke it down, we always break it down with a hoorah. I said, trust each other, believe in each other, and finish the fight. I mean, apropos, is that the word I want to use here? But to say, that's been our motto all year, go out and finish the fight. And it was really one last big round, right? And one of the things we had all week long, the champion has to fight one more round. And that's basically what it came down to. We had to fight an overtime round after the delay, and it was going to decide, in many ways, a defining part of our season.
You guys haven't had to run that 4-minute offense to put a game away yet. Could you have executed better? I mean, you got 2 scores out of it, and you ran almost pretty much the clock down to the last minute.
I don't think we could have. I mean, we had a 39-yard run, we had a 29-yard run. And, when you're in that situation where Missouri State was going to sell out a little bit, they had to try to make a play. Our offensive line, who's, such a veteran part of and a key part of our team, we got a bunch of veterans there. They dug down in, created a couple creases, and then you have to give credit to Steve and Max. They finished the deal. We had tremendous blocking at the point of attack. Certainly any head coach would love to see the way we finished the game. We did. What I liked more than anything just was our unified purpose. I could tell when we left the locker room, it was a team that took advantage of the break. Was just, if you could just look at the personality of our team when we left the locker room as opposed to the personality of our team when we entered the locker room, you could certainly see that the break, we handled it well. We kind of got ourselves just back under control, and we're determined to go out there and finish it.
You guys had a slow start, fell
Yep.
behind 2 scores. Is this a team that just enjoys getting punched in the mouth right away and kind of making things difficult, or needs that wake-up call?
Well, certainly you have to. There's 2 teams on the field, and nobody's going to give you anything. There's not a coach in America that wouldn't want it to go out and go your way right away, and for us to be ahead 21-6 or 7, but it doesn't always work that way. That's not the game that we play. Those guys are well coached. They work hard. They want to win as bad as we do, and they came out and they out-executed us early in the game. And you always have to give them credit, but at the end of the day, it's why you keep playing. It's 60 minutes of football. It's not 20, it's not 30, it's not 40, it's 60. And you got to keep going. I know that sounds cliche, but at the end of the day, if you can't finish and close out games, you're not going to win games. And we've been able to do that. We've been good in close games in my tenure here, and I think that speaks a lot to our staff and most importantly to our players.
5-1, North Dakota State.
Yep.
Exactly the same scenario as last year, even right down to the opponent. What feels different about this year's squad?
I just, I like that there's a unique leadership in our group. We've got a bunch of seniors, and that I always believe that a team will go as far as its senior leadership. We got a bunch of winners in the locker room, but we got great senior leadership. We got a lot of guys that have put a lot of blood and sweat and tears into this program long before I got here. And they're determined to finish because they know where we were a year ago. They know what's in front of them. It's not going to be an easy road. We've got 5 very, very difficult games. We're in a good position. We're where we were a year ago. We're going to play the champ. If you want to look at what we're doing here, 11 rounds, well, we're going to play the champion right here. We're playing the heavyweight champion, all right, at his ring. So we're going to have to be ready to play, but who wouldn't relish this opportunity just like a year ago? So we've got to have a great week of practice. We got to enjoy the win, but then we put it behind us and we move on to round 7.